Okay, so honor. So good morning all. So first you tell me whether am I audible or not in chat box. Then we'll start today class. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing till we have discussed hydrogen spectrum, right? And we have given the series of collection of lines, right? Hydrogen spectrum. Then we have solved some problems on the basis of that. Then I gave you the homework. The homework was to solve the questions from that exercise. Okay. So now most of you must have solved it. After I finish this chapter, then we'll discuss that questions paper. Okay. So meanwhile, you comment whether it's audible or not. Okay, now we'll start. So, till we have done, okay. So, now, okay, so now we'll talk about something called, we'll solve some problems based on de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so next one is de Broglie hypothesis. Next heading is de Broglie hypothesis. Okay. Write on next heading. Write on next heading. De Broglie hypothesis. De Broglie hypothesis. Okay, so now in de Broglie hypothesis, what happens is till now, what we have assumed is that electron as particle till now we have assumed that electron is subatomic particle. But when de Broglie says that, de Broglie hypothesis is a very, very tiny particle. This statement is a very, very tiny particle also possess velocity, also have some velocity. Now, as it is a particle, but it is very, very tiny in mass, okay, and it is moving with some velocity, then it will also behave as a wave nature. It means if there is one particle which is moving something like this in direction, its mass is very low. Condition is mass is very low. Mass is very low. If the mass is very low, this particular particle can also behave as a wave. Understand? This is de Broglie hypothesis. So now, if it is a de Broglie hypothesis, so it will behave as a wave. Now in the last class I told you some wave property, right? Some wave property such as I talked about lambda, I talk about nu, I talk about c, I talk about nu bar. These were the 4 or 5 things I have talked about in the last class. This all property related to what? Related to wave. These are what? Wave property. These are what? These are wave property. Okay, as these are wave property, now what happens? So, if this particle is behaving as a wave, so it should have these properties. Now, to have this property, de Broglie has given a relation. The relation goes like this. The wavelength. Which wavelength? De Broglie wavelength of that particle. That lambda is equals to h by mv. Lambda equals to h by mv. What is h? H is Planck constant. What is m? M is mass of that particular object. What is v? V is velocity. Velocity of that object. Understand? Then what will is lambda? Lambda is wavelength associated with object. Wavelength associated with object. H I know, so I will not write for H, right? M I will write. M is mass of object. Okay, mass of object. Then, if you do, this is velocity. If velocity is not given but kinetic energy is given, so there is one more extension of this formula. What is the extension of this formula? That formula extension goes like this. Is equals to h by under root of 2mke. Goes like h by under root of 2 square root of 2mke. So 2 is a constant, m is what? Same, mass of object. Then what is ke? Ke is kinetic energy of object. Kinetic energy of object. Okay. Now, so this is lambda, this is called de Broglie wavelength. Okay, we'll solve some problem now. Okay, this side. Now, while solving a problem, write a question. Find out the de Broglie wavelength. Find out the de Broglie wavelength when electron moves in third Bohr's orbit of hydrogen atom. Solve this question. Solve this question fast. Are we able to solve this question? Find out the de Broglie wavelength when electron moves in third Bohr's orbit of hydrogen atom. So one thing is de Broglie wavelength. So do you have formula? Yes, we got formula lambda. Lambda equals to h by mv or h by under root of 2mk. So do you know h? Yes, we know h. What is m? M is mass. What is the object here? Electron. Object is electron. So electron mass. Do I know electron mass? Okay, in the chat box write down what is mass of electron. In chat box write down what is mass of electron. Write down in chat box mass of electron. Okay, Vimla has got it correct. So I know this value also then what is this value? If I know this value, I can able to solve this question. What is this value? This is velocity. Velocity of that object. What is object? Object is electron. Do you know velocity? They did not mention velocity. But what is mentioned is moves in third Bohr's hydrogen atom. So if you know third Bohr's orbit of hydrogen atom, can you find velocity? Do you have Vn formula? Okay, so what is the Vn formula? If you remember Vn formula, it is 2.18 into 10 power 6 Z by N meter per second. This is formula for Vn. So I'll write Vn equals to 2.18 into 10 power 6. Z is 1, N is 3 meter per second. So now I got velocity also, I can divide it. But no need to division because it is coming in denominator. It will go 3 in the numerator again. So now I can find lambda equals to h by mv. H is 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 divided by mass. 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Velocity is 2.18 into 10 power 6 by 3. This 3 goes to the numerator. So I have to solve 6.626 by into 3 divided by 9.1 into 2.18 into 10 power. Now you have to solve this 10 power. 10 power minus 34. This goes to numerator, becomes positive. This becomes negative. So minus 34, 6, 40, 40 plus 31, minus 9. So this we can solve into 10 power minus 9 meter. That's somewhere lambda. And if you calculate, this is 6 3s, this is 7, somewhere 7 into 3 is 21. 21 divided by 9 into 2, 18. 21 divided by 18, somewhere 1.35. So 1. Or lambda equals to 13 into 10 power minus 10 meter, or lambda equals to 13 angstrom. Understand? Okay, copies. Okay, copy fast that side. Next heading is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Next heading is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay. So now, in this case, what happens is this. There was a nucleus, there was an electron. Now, electron was revolving in a circular motion till now. But then de Broglie scientist came and he said, no, it won't be revolving in a circle. It will be revolving in a wave form. Right? As it will be revolving in wave form, now it cannot behave as a wave. This is not a wave, this is a circle. So you will draw the wave. So this electron will go in a wave form, something like this. There is a wave now. Correct? There is a wave. Now if this happens, then Heisenberg uncertainty principle comes. What it says that delta x dot delta p is greater than or equals to h by 4 pi. This is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It means The statement goes like this. It is very impossible to measure both. To measure, understand, listen very carefully. To measure both this change in position and change in momentum simultaneously and 100% accurately. You want to see the previous question? Okay, one. This is doom them. No, one more time. They have to copy this once. Copy fast, beta, okay? Okay, copied, Nikhil. First you copy that side, then we'll go to this side. Okay, don't worry about this. We'll come back again here. Okay, done now, that side. Okay, now we come here. So we get delta x dot delta p is greater than or equals to h by 4 pi. Okay, now what is this? This is uncertainty in distance. The delta p is uncertainty in momentum. Understand both the things? This is uncertainty. Now what happens is, if delta x is 0, if delta x is 0, fortnightly, okay, it means distance, not distance, you write out position. Okay, not distance, you write out position is completely correct. If position is completely correct, then what about delta p here? What formula you will write? You will write like this, right? H by 4 pi dot delta x. Then delta p is equal to h by 4 pi 0, and 1 by 0 becomes undetermined form, indefinite form, or infinity. It means what? This means what? The uncertainty in momentum is infinite. Uncertainty in momentum is infinite. It means if I try to exactly pinpoint position of an electron, then there is an infinite error, infinite uncertainty in the momentum. Now momentum is a part of velocity. It means if you are able to find position correctly, then there is an uncertainty in velocity infinite. And if you do velocity or momentum 0, then position will be infinitely inaccurate. Understand? So now this is theory of it, but in problems how do we use? We use the formula of delta x dot delta p is equals to h by 4 pi. This is one formula. This is one formula. Okay. And the another formula is delta x. This p is a momentum. Momentum is equals to m into v. So delta v is equals to h by 4 pi m. This is another formula. Understand now? Delta x dot delta v equals to h by 4 pi m. delta x naught delta p equals to h by 4 pi. This p, because p is equals to mv. So m goes to denominator. We use equal to sign. That's how we can find out uncertainty here, uncertainty there, and we can solve. Okay, copy this side. Sir, what is the value of PE and kinetic energy at infinite? Nikhil, the answer is 0. At infinite distance, the potential energy and kinetic energy of an electron is taken as 0. Any other doubt you have? Okay, so the next point. Next, we'll talk about quantum numbers. Next, we'll talk about quantum numbers. Okay. So, quantum numbers, as we know, quantum numbers, there are 4 values. There are 4 types of quantum numbers. Okay. So, we have how many? We have got 4 types of quantum numbers. First one is known as principal quantum number, which is denoted by n. Then after you have principal quantum number, we have got azimuthal quantum number. We have got azimuthal quantum number, which is L. And third, we got magnetic quantum number, which is known as M. And fourth, we got a spin quantum number, which is small s. Copy all 4. Okay, so the first heading we'll write. First one is principal quantum number n. Okay, it talks about size of atom or shell number. Okay, it gives out shell number or orbit number. Thirdly, it talks about energy of shell. Shell is same as orbit. Okay, energy of shell. And next one is this total number of electron in any orbit is equals to 2n square. Is equal to 2n square. And total number of orbital. This is very important. Total number of orbital in this is very easy. Every time one orbital can accommodate maximum 2 electron. So if you have these many orbitals, double the value is number of electrons. So such as if you talk about first shell. Okay, so we'll not there, we'll write it here. Okay. Number of cell. Okay. In that, number of orbital and number of maximum electron. If you have shell number first, if you have cell number 1, so number of orbital, there is a formula. Total number of, what is the formula? N square. This is n, this is n square, this is 2n square formula, right? So number 1 square is 1, 2n square is 2. It means in first shell is also denoted by K. Remember in your 9th class, K is 1. A first orbit or first Bohr's orbit will accommodate only maximum 2 electron. But if you go to 2, so what is this? It will become L, right? L. So this will become 2 square. Total orbital will be 4. Total orbital will be 4. Now, a little bit extra I'll give you here. For first orbital, you always write this value, 1s. Did you write anywhere 1p, 1d, 1f? You have not, because it doesn't exist. So total orbital how many? 1s is 1. But when you write go to 2, you will write this 2s and 2p. Correct? These are not 2 orbitals. These are 4 orbitals. How? 2s is 1. Inside 2p, there are 3 orbitals. So 3 here, 1 there. Total becomes 4 orbital. So 4. But double 8. Correct? So KL M is 3. So 3 square is 9. This will become 9 into 2. 18. And if you want to write 3s, 3p, 3d. Can you tell me 9 now? 1 here, 3 there. What are those 3? 3px, 3py, 3pz. Then there are d. In that how many? There are 5. So 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 1, total 9. So 9 orbital. Each orbital accommodate full board.
Full board.
Bunch. No problem, no problem. Little bit.
Okay.
So okay, so 9 and each orbital accommodate 2 electrons, so we'll get 9 into 2, 18. Okay, K and M, N is 4, right? 4 square will be 16. 16 into 2, 32, right? There if you want to write, you will write 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, right? Yes. Then K, L, M, N, O. O is 5. 5 square, 25. 2n square, 25 into 5, 25 2 is 50. 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 5g. This is there, but it is not filled yet in our periodic table. This is all about principal quantum number. Copy all. Copy. Five G exists, but till now we do not have any element whose electron can go to 5G. Any doubt? If you have, you can comment box. Any doubt if you have? Okay, so after we finish principal quantum number, we will have go to azimuthal quantum number, and that is L. Okay, so now we'll come here azimuthal quantum number. Okay, now in the case of azimuthal quantum number, it talks about number of subshell. It talks about number of subshell. It talks about number of subshell. The value of L, value of L, it starts from 0. It starts from 0 to n minus 1. The value of L starts from 0 to n minus value. Number of subshell equals to number of values of L. Whatever number, how many value of L you get, that many subshell it has. So for first shell, this is first shell number 1. So if you start L, L could get 0, 0, 2. N is how much? N is 1, 1 minus 1, 0. So 0 only. So you do not have any other value than 0. So how many value of L you got? 1. So 1 subshell. That subshell is known as S subshell. S subshell, which is spherical in nature. Copy this. First shell equals to L equals to 0. If L equals to 0, and how do I get 0? So 0 is from 0 to n is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So only 0 possible values. So only one value. 0 is a value. 0 is a value, which is one value. So one subshell, because number of subshell equals to number of value of L. I got only one value, so one subshell. What is that subshell? That subshell is S. This is known as S subshell, which is spherical in nature. Which is spherical in nature. So it looks like a balloon or a football or a cricket ball. Right? This is first shell. Then we go to second shell. Second shell, value of L could be 0. It will always start from 0 to. Now 2. N is 2. So I'll put 2. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 0, comma 1. 0, comma 1. So total how many? So 2 subshell then. Then there are 2 subshell. Okay. 2 subshell means what are those? S subshell and P subshell. Now P subshell is a dumbbell shape. P subshell is a dumbbell shape. P subshell is a dumbbell shape. Okay. Then this is second shell. Now we go to third shell. So the full board, okay. So this point goes like this. For first shell you are writing only one S. For two shell you are writing S and P. For third I will write 3. Same as this way. For first shell I have written one S only. For two I have written S and P. For three I have written S, P, D. So when I am writing third shell I will write 3. And now you see. So 3 shell number equals to N equals to, what are the values? 0, 1, N equals to 3, so 3 minus 1, 2, so 0, 1, 2. So total how many values? 1, 2, 3. So total 3 subshell. What are those? S subshell plus P subshell plus D subshell. Now D subshell looks like this. This is known as double dumbbell. This is known as double dumbbell. Copy that side also now. Copied. Done. So like this we'll go on. One more point we can have is, okay, next, third. Third is known as magnetic quantum number, which is denoted by M. So it talks about orientation of orbital. It talks about orientation of orbital. Okay. The value of L, the value of M, it starts from minus L2 plus L. Minus L2 plus L at an interval of 1. The value of M starts from minus L2 plus L at an interval of 1. So total value of M is equals to 2L plus 1. At an interval of 1, at an interval of 1, including 0, including 0, including 0. Total value of M is 2L plus 1. Orientation of orbital and number of orbital. Okay. So if the L equals to 0, if the L equals to 0, where L equals to 0? L equals to 0 for S subshell. If L equals to 1, P subshell. If L equals to 2, D subshell. Okay. If one more I write L equals to 3, then it goes as F subshell. If L equals to 3, F subshell. Okay, so now if L is 0, if L is 0, if L is 0. So now what are the values of M? Minus 0 to plus 0. And how many inside? Nothing. So only 1. So M is also 0. How many values? 1 value. So 1 orbital also. That is now S orbital. Okay. If L equals to 1, so what are the values of M? M value minus 1. L is 1. So instead of minus L, I write minus 1, minus 1 to plus 1. Add an interval of 1 including 0. I will add continuously adding 1, 1, 1. So minus 1. Then I will add 1. Then it will become 0. Once it will become 0, then I will add 1 more. So minus 1, 0, 1. So total how many? 3 orbital. Total how many? 3 orbital, which means px orbital, py orbital, pz orbital. Px, py, pz. Then we go to L equals to 2. So L equals to 2, L means what? Minus 2 to plus 2. It means M equals to what? Minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. Total how many? Total how many? So total are 5 orbital. Now L equals to 2. Here also I told you L equals to 2 is D sub shell. L equals to 2 is D sub shell. L equals to 2 is D sub shell. So this is D sub shell. This is D sub shell. What are those 5? So the answer is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. These are the 5 orbitals. These are the 5 orbitals. Okay. So now this is 5. Like this I can do for L equals to 3 also. 3 means minus 3 to plus 3. So M equals to minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Total are how many? 7 orbital. Okay. 7 orbitals, 7 F orbitals. Okay. 7 F orbitals. Copied this one also. Copy this whole. Then we'll do the last one also here. Okay, the next one is, and the last, this is third one, so we have first copy, then we'll do. Any doubt? If you have doubts, you can comment. Okay, so the next one we'll write down now. Fourth one. Fourth one is known as spin quantum number or S. This is spin quantum number or S. Now this has nothing to do with anything, first three. It has nothing to do with orbit number, subshell number, shell number or orbital. It has nothing to do with all of this. This has something to do with electrons. Because it is a spin, so it talks about, very simple, a spin of electron. It talks about a spin of electron. Now, generally what happens, spin of electron is a particle, right? So when you have an electron which is moving, or now something like this, you try to take an electron as something this way. Take a duster as an electron, okay? This will be like more football type situation. Then what happens is, if this is a round shape, then what happens is, you can have an axis such as this particular electron can revolve. Spin means revolution, okay? Revolve something like this. If it is revolving something like this, okay, this is one spin, this is one spin, another spin is reverse spin of this, right? Correct. So now what happens is, if one spin I name as plus 1 by 2, and spin, if this is revolving like this, then I can say this S is plus 1 by 2. And then if this rotates reverse of it, this is reverse, right? This is spinning like this. Then this is spinning like this. So this is reverse. So this S will become minus 1 by 2. But if this is spinning like this, and you can name it as S minus 1 by 2, then this becomes changed value 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Now understand now? So you can have a spin two values, plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 or plus 1 by 2. These two are not certain, okay? You can name this spin either plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2, both are correct. But if you name this as plus 1 by 2, then that spin is not plus 1 by 2. That spin is minus 1 by 2 because it is the reverse of it. So if you name it as minus 1 by 2, then that spin is reversed, then it will become plus 1 by 2. You can give plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2 to the same spin. But if you assign one spin to one of the electron, the other opposite spin must be there. If it is plus, then it is minus. If it is minus, then it is plus. Understood? Okay. Yes, they are also known as clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now I'll tell you the beauty about it. Okay. So, if there is an electron which is revolving like this, okay, which is spinning like this, something like this, it is spinning. Okay. Zoom in once. So, you will find that this is moving like this. Then what happens is, if I look from here, if you look from here, it's like, say, it is moving like this. Okay. If you look from here, this is moving like this. This is clockwise direction. This is clockwise direction. So it will become a plus 1 by 2. I'm looking like this. But if I look from the behind, and rotation is same way rotation, it means now if you look from here, then the rotation is, the cap is moving anti-clockwise, but the spin is same. Now you see, clockwise, but now you see, anti-clockwise, correct? So basically the spin depends on the perspection view, how the person is looking an electron. If I'm looking like this, it has some spin, but if I look the same electron like this, it has different spin. Understand? So the spin is a relative word. That's why we can give any one of them, plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. Clear? Okay. Any other doubt? If you can write. Now, so after this, copy fast. Let's say copy fast. Okay, so now there angular momentum. Copy here now. So the first one is known as orbit angular momentum. Orbit angular momentum, which is equals to nh by 2 pi n is integer always. Then next one is called orbital angular momentum. Next one is called orbital angular momentum, which is denoted by, calculated by L into L plus 1 h by 2 pi. What is L? L is azimuthal quantum number. Then next one is known as spin angular momentum, which is denoted by S into S plus 1 h by 2 pi, where S is spin quantum number. Okay, next heading, once you copy all, electronic configuration. Next heading is electronic configuration. Next heading is electronic configuration. Next heading is electronic configuration. Now, in this case of electronic configuration, I'm going to give you a trick. Basically, there are three methods. First one is known as Aufbau principle, right? So we'll write them first. Aufbau principle. Then next one is Pauli's exclusion principle, and third one is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay, so there are three rules. With the help of these three rules, we can. My voice is audible, right? You try to concentrate on my voice. Okay. So Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. There are these three rules. Okay. Now, so Aufbau principle means electrons are filled in order of increasing energy. Aufbau principle says that electrons are filled in order of increasing energy. 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 Pauli's exclusion principle says that no two electrons can have same value of all four quantum numbers. Pauli's exclusion principle says that no two electron can have same value of all four quantum numbers. two electrons can have same value or similar values of all four quantum numbers. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity says that pairing takes place only when all degenerate orbitals are partially filled. Pairing takes place only when all the degenerate orbitals are partially filled. These are the four orbitals in order to find the electronic configuration. Okay. So now we're going to write some electronic configuration. For hydrogen we write 1s1. Okay, 1s1. So in order to draw this, we'll draw one box also. This is 1s. Now in that, how many electrons you got to fill? Because hydrogen is 1. So I got only one electron. This is called box diagram. One electron. Okay. Then you get 2. 2 is He. Okay. For this case, you will have 1s2. 1s2. Okay. If you draw a box, now there is a point here. Okay. One electron, 1s. Now the point here is, you want to keep one more electron, and one more thing is, each box you can keep only 2 electron. Each box you can keep only 2 electron. Then 2 electron you want to keep. So if you keep 2 electron like this, okay, then it violates Pauli's exclusion principle. How it violates, you see now. For this electron, value of n is 1 because it belongs to first shell. The value of L, this is S subshell, so L is 0. The value of M is also 0 because minus 0 to plus 0. The value of S is, this is going one direction, so let's say it is plus 1 by 2. Now I'll do for this electron. What is the value of N? 1 because it belongs to first shell. The value of L is 0 because S subshell. Value of M is also 0 because minus 0 to plus 0. And the value of S, same direction, so plus 1 by 2. Now if you look at here, these values and these values, all four are same. What Pauli's exclusion principle says that no 2 electron can have same value of all 4 quantum numbers. But here I wrote 4 quantum numbers. All values are same. 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, plus 1 by 2, plus 1 by 2. So all 4 are same, which is not possible. It means, can all 3 can be same? Yes, 3 can be same, but not all. It means, which of I can change? Can you change this? No, because that is first shell, always same. This is S subshell, which is also same. This is orbital, which is also same. But what about spin? A spin you can change. Correct? A spin we can change. So I can make it as another value. What is another value? Minus. But to do that, I need to do something change here also. What is the change I should like to do here? I should draw it with opposite spin. It means, directly I can say now, whenever an electron is filled, whenever 2 electrons are kept in single orbital, they must be of opposite spin. Understand? They must be of opposite spin. That's it, helium. Then, now can we move forward? So we can have beryllium 4. In the middle, lithium is also there, you can do it also. 1s2, 2s2. Now 1s2, 2s2 will draw a box. 1s, another box for 2s. 1, 2. As soon as I want to keep 2 electrons, I will keep them together, but with opposite spin. 4 total. Now, let's take boron. 5. We'll write generally 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Now there is a problem little bit. You try to understand this question. 1s 2 electron, 2s 2 electron. Now 2p. P is a subshell. How many value of m? So there are 3. Because for P subshell value of L is 1. Value of m, small m, -1, 0, +1, or orbitals are px, py, pz, all are there in P subshell. It means how many? Total 3. It means I should draw 3 box collectively. 3 box collectively. This is called 2p. This is called 2p. These 3 orbitals are also called degenerate. These are also called degenerate. These are also called degenerate. But these boxes behave the same way. 2 electron, then must be opposite. But you can't give 2 electron here till all are filled. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, which I'll discuss in the after this. So boron, 4 are done, 1 more, so 2p1. Easy? Okay. Then we'll write for after boron, we'll erase this. Okay. So now we'll do carbon. Carbon is 6. Carbon is 6. So we get 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. If I draw box, 1, 2, 1s, 2s. Then box, 2p. But now I got 1 electron. I kept there. But then you got 1 more electron. You got 1 more electron. Now I can keep it here. But then there is a problem. If you keep like this is an incorrect electronic configuration because it violates this. What is this? Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. What is it? Pairing takes place. Pairing takes place only when all degenerate orbitals are partially filled. These 3 are degenerate orbitals. You did pairing. Is this filled partially? No. Is this filled partially? No. So you can't pair it. To pair it, first you need to fill this. So you can't fill electron here. You will partially fill this. This is incorrect. Then after you have 7n, so now 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, right? So you will draw a box 1s, then you will draw another box 2s, then you will draw 3, 2p. But I got how many? 3. You can't do this. Is because this is pairing. Is this partially filled? Yes. Is all partially filled? No, this is not partially filled. So first you have to remove this electron from here and keep it there. This is correct explanation. 2p3. Then we get 8 oxygen. 8 oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Then you will draw box 1s. Then you will draw box 2s. Then you will draw box 2p. 1, 2, 3. Whenever I want to fill in P, first you fill 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. If you have D subshell contains how many orbitals? 5. So what do you do? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All are getting 1, 1, 1. Then you do pair. So did I get filled 3? But I got how many to fill? 4. I got 1 more. Then I will come here. Then when I am coming here, then all are filled. Then I could not do this. This will violate which rule now? You tell me. What is the problem in this electronic configuration? In chat box, write down which law it violates. Correct. So it violates Pauli's exclusion, not Hund's. Vishal, your answer is wrong. The answer is Pauli's exclusion principle, not Hund's. Okay? Yes. So, because now 4 quantum numbers will be same. So, we will reverse of it. Okay? Now, after oxygen, we'll have fluorine. Fluorine will come, one more electron here. Then we'll have neon, one more will come. Now, we'll go to sodium. Na11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So one filling box diagram, 1, 2, 1s, 2s, 2p, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total how many done? 2, 2 plus 4, total 4 plus 6, 10. But sodium is 11. So we draw one more box of 3s, which has 1. Done? Now. So sodium, then magnesium will come, aluminium will come. So we'll write aluminium or silicon, we'll write silicon 40, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p2. Right? So we can draw block diagram also. 1s, 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2p, 3s2, now 3p, 3p2. So I will not keep 2 electrons in same, correct? Because these are separate. So we'll keep 1 here, 1 there. Okay. Done. Now we'll do for like this, we continue and then we go. Okay, now you tell me out of 4s and 3d, whose energy is more? Question is, whose energy is more? Tell me the answer, check out. Vishal, your answer is incorrect. Satyanarayan, answer is incorrect. Nikhil, answer is incorrect. Narayan Krishnan, answer is incorrect. Okay, so whenever we want to find out whose energy is more, we do this rule. That is called N plus L rule. It is also same as off-bow principle. Okay, what we do? We find N and L. For 4s, how much N? N is 4 plus L for S is 0. So this value is 4. But for 3D, 3 is N, D. What is the value of L for D subshell? Write this. What is the value of L for D subshell? Tell me this value. 2, right? So 2 is equals to 5, right? So now I get value 4 and 5. Whichever is low have lesser energy. Whichever is low has lesser energy. Whichever is higher has higher energy. So 4 energy is lesser than 5. It means 4s has less energy than 3d. Clear? Or 3d has got more energy than 4s. Okay? Now, Now we'll do two more important. Before we go to that, we'll do something called vanadium. This is V. Tell me what is the atomic number of vanadium? Here. Jump. Vanadium atomic number. Tell me vanadium atomic number. Correct. So 23. So if I write electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then I get 4s. Now I have compared 4s and 3d, so 4s has lesser value. Now if you count here, 2, 4, 10, 12 and 6, 18 done. 4s2, 20 done. So 3d, 3. That's how we write 3d, 3. Okay, then I'll draw box diagram. Okay, I'll draw for each. 1, 2, 3 box. Okay, we'll write separately a little bit. 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. My question to you is, how many box I should make here? How many box inside this? Tell me, how many box I should make? Correct. So we should make 5 box. Now in 5 box, same as this way. But how many? 3. So 21, 22, 23. Right? Like this we'll do. The important is this value. 24 Cr. This is important because this comes under exception. Okay. So we'll write like this. Only what is 23 to 24. So the last one it becomes 3D. 4 basically. So remaining here till all same. Okay. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s and 3d. Okay. Generally what we do, 4s2, 3d, 4. This is the normal thing we do. But then there is one point called D4 is less stable than D5, stability order. These are the stability order. D4 is less stable than D5. F6 is less stable than F7. So if you are able to make D5, that configuration is more stable because the reason here is called multiple exchange of energy. If you have D5, you can have more exchange of energy. That's why D5 is more stable than D4. So similarly, F7 is more stable than F6. So it means right now this is D4, but you can make it D5, but you have to take one electron from there. So what we do, we remove one electron from there, do it here. Now this is D5. This configuration is much more stable than the previous case of 4s2. So what we do, we write another 4s1, 3d5. This is the correct one. Same explanation goes for this also. D9 is less stable than D10. D9 the less stable than D10. So which goes as 29 Cu. Now I can write 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. Understand? If I draw a box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. D10 is more stable than D9. That's it. These two are in the exception. Remaining all are the as usual. You have memorized it. Okay? Good, good. So now by the chapter is over. Now we'll solve the exercise. Okay? I hope you have solved all the exercises of this. Correct? If you have doubts in the chapter, you can ask me or we'll continue with the discussion now. Okay. Now we'll discuss the module exercise. In this case, module 1, NEET as well as KCT module. Same module. So you take out now exercise, okay? In that exercise you got page number 25. We are talking about page number 25. Page number 25. Okay, if you have doubts, you tell me the question number. Guman Walia, are you added in the group? If you are added in the group, WhatsApp or Telegram group, there is a scanned copy of module, it is there. And you will get this printout, you will get this file in description box also. Okay, so in WhatsApp and Telegram group it is there. Baswaraj, Sumka, if you are added in WhatsApp and Telegram group, have you joined the course? If you have joined the course, then you must have paid the fees, then you will be added in a WhatsApp or Telegram group. In that group, the book is there. Yes, in soft copy only it is available. But you should be added in the group. For that, you must have paid the money. Okay? Okay, good now. So we'll discuss, whoever is having this module, we'll discuss it, okay? Yesterday only in the group management has given the copy, okay? So now, question number 1. Question number 1. If you have doubts, question number 1. Question number 1 doubt. Question number 2. 3. Have you solved it or not? How many people have solved? Those people who have solved it, please comment yes, I have solved. Let me see how many people have solved this module. Okay, Darshan Gowda has asked question number 1. Okay. A 1 kilowatt radio transmitter operates at a frequency of 880 Hz. How many photons per second? Okay, whoever has not got the top writing question. Okay. A 1 kilowatt radio transmitter operates at a frequency of 880 Hz. How many photons per second does it emit? Okay, options also I can write. 1.71 into 10 power 21. Option B is 1.71 into 10 power 33. Option C is 6.02 into 10 power 23. Option D is 2.85 into 10 power 26. This is your question, okay? So now 1 kilowatt, this is energy, okay? 1 kilowatt, or you can say power also. 1 kilowatt is equals to 1000 watt. 1000 watt equals to 1000 joules per second. Energy per second, okay, is power. Operate at a frequency. So then 880 Hertz into, or I can apply a formula E equals to H nu. So 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joules. Now what happens is, how many photons? This is the energy of 1 photon. This is the energy of 1 photon, and per second, it means if I multiply by 1 second, I get how much energy released? I get 1000 joules. This much energy is for 1 photon. So in 1000 joules, how many photons? This is energy of 1 photon. In 1000 joules, how many photons? So what we do? That 1000 is equals to, let's say, n photon into energy of 1 photon. This is energy of 1 photon. 880 into 6.626 into 10 power minus 34. We can solve. N equals to 1000 by 880 into 6.626 into 10 power minus 34. We'll solve this, and this will 10 power minus 34 will become 10 power 33. So okay, this answer, B answer will correct. Question 2, question number 2, 3, 4, 5. Which question you have doubt? Till 5, any doubt? Okay, Pawan Mayur Venkatesh has a doubt in 2. The value of force radius of hydrogen atom, that is very easy. I give formula Rn equals to 0.529 n square by z. N is 1, z is 1. We get the same answer. This question we did in class itself. Pawan, I have already explained question number 2. Okay. Question number 4. 4 there is now. The ionization energy of hydrogen atom is 13.6 electron volt. The energy of the third lowest electronic level doubly ionized lithium. Okay, so question number 4 is this way. The ionization energy of a hydrogen atom is 13.6 electron volt. The energy of third lowest electronic level in doubly ionized lithium Z equals to 3 is, options are also given, minus 28.7 electron volts. Option B is minus 54.4 electron volts. Option C is minus 122.4 electron volts. Option D is minus 13.6 electron volt. So now in the question 4, how will it be solved? So doubly ionized lithium means what? Li 2 plus, this is called doubly ionized lithium. So now third lowest electronic level equals to n equals to 3. Okay. So what is the formula of En? Minus 13.6 Z square by n square electron volts. Can you tell me what is the value of Z and n in this question? Tell me what is the value of Z and n? Kushma, the answer is incorrect, not 4 and 3. Z is 3. Z is 3. N is 3. Nitish has got correct answer. Z is 3. Third lowest, N is 3. So En equals to minus 13.6. Z is 3 square by 3 square electron volt getting cancelled. Which option? Which option? Tell me. Yes, D is the correct answer. Okay, Vimla is asking for option. Okay, second question, option B is correct. Okay. Okay. 5. Question number 5. Question number 5. 6. Question number 5. 6. 7. 5, 6, 7. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, so sixth question is easy beta. Okay, question 6, you are asking question number 6, right? Okay, question number 6 is also easy question. Question 6 says that the wavelength of third line of Balmer series for hydrogen atom. First option is 21/100 RH. B option is 100/21 RH. C option is 21 RH by 100. D option is 100 RH by 21. So before we go to that side, who will tell me what is this transaction? From where to where? Last class I told you, third line of Balmer series, tell me from where to where? Correct. Satvik has got correct answer 5-2, right? So third line, yesterday also I told you which series? Balmer series, Lyman, Balmer. So Balmer 2, and which line it is? 3, third line. So 2 plus 3, 5. So the transfer is happening from 5 to 2. Wavelength they are asking 1 by lambda equals to RH Z square 1 by N1 square by 1 by N2 square. So 1 by lambda RH hydrogen atom, so Z is 1 square by, then I told you this should be positive, this should be bigger, this should be smaller. To get this bigger, this should be smaller value. 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 5 square. 1 by lambda equals to RH. LCM will come as 25 into 4, 100. So we'll get it as 25 minus 4. So 1 by lambda equals to RH into 21 by 100. But that is not the answer. We are asking for lambda. So 100 by 21 RH. Which option it is? Option B. Okay, question number 7. Question number 7. Question number 8. Copy fast. Question number 8. Question number 8. Question number 9. 10. Beta, you people are not solving fast. You should have finished this exercise by yesterday only. In your WhatsApp Telegram group, these questions are there. Still you are not solving, it means you are not doing hard work. You have to do hard work, you have to solve. Take pen and paper and read question and then try to solve. If you don't get a solution, then I'll help you. But you are not trying question. Okay, so question number 13 is doubt. Question number 13. How many spherical nodes are present in 4s orbital? Okay. So there is one theory for this. We can write a theory. spherical node. Formula is n minus L minus 1. Angular node is equals to L. And what is the definition of a node? Point in a structure of atom where probability of finding the electron is 0. So the question is for 4s. Okay. 4s. What is the value of n? 4 minus L value 0 minus 1. So the answer is 3. 3 spherical node. Someone has asked question number 7 also. If the uncertainty, that uncertainty question we did in class only. Uncertainty in position is 0. Uncertainty in momentum, in velocity is infinite. One of the uncertainty is 0. Other one is also infinity. Then question number 9 also someone has asked. The set of quantum number for 19th electron, this will do. Set of quantum number for the 19th electron in chromium. So first you should draw right 19th electron of chromium. It means what? 24 Cr. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d5. Now count 19. 2, 4, 10, 12, 18. This is your 19. This is 19th electron. This is your 19th electron. So what is the value of n? Tell me. What is the value of n? We'll solve 14 and 9 after this. First you tell me this answer. Correct. N equals to 4. What about L? L value. Divya Manu, your answer is incorrect. L is 0. M. M is also 0s plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. No, Swami Gowda and Kamal Solanki, the answer is not correct. M is also 0. Okay, so this is question number 9. Then we'll do question number 14. The maximum probability of finding an electron in the dxy orbital is. Okay, so the next question here, and that question goes now. 14th question. Okay. The maximum probability of finding electron. The maximum probability of finding electron in the dxy orbital is okay. Now, so first you should understand that how dxy orbitals are drawn. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. When you do cross this way, the z-axis comes outside. Okay. So now we will not draw that side. Then what happens? We will not draw this also. Okay. Now, when I want to draw dxy draw orbitals drawn like this. Okay. Now, at this junction, they are asking the probability of finding. So electron will be present here more, or there, or here, or here. So when you draw a line, this line you will have maximum density. This angle is 45 degrees. So at an angle of 45 degrees from the x-axis and y-axis, at an angle of 45 degree from x-axis and y-axis. Okay, this question number is 14. 15 doubt. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Till 20. Okay, Nitish has done lot of doubt till 20, 21 to 25, till 25. Till 25, any doubt? Devidas has doubt in 16. A photon was absorbed by hydrogen atom in the ground state and electron was promoted to fifth orbit when the excited. So, let's say 15th question. Not 15th, question number 16, right? 16. Okay. So 16. For 16, you should remember this. Lyman series is present in ultraviolet region. Palmer series is present in visible region. Paschen series onwards are present in infrared region. Okay. Now, spherical nodes are just now I told Darshan has got we write out formulas. Spherical node formula I wrote before, that are the spherical node only. So now, question is, when excited atom return to, it goes to fifth orbit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Visible and other quanta is emitted. Visible region is emitted. It means from fifth, one of the photon comes to Palmer region. Then only visible region photon will be emitted. So one photon comes to 5 to 2. But that other photon is where? It has to come to ground state. Then only after 19th question, okay, 19th question. The shortest wavelength of hydrogen atom in Lyman series is X, and the longest wavelength in Balmer series of helium is. Now the question number is 19. Okay. Shortest wavelength on hydrogen atom. Shortest wavelength. And one more is longest wavelength. Shortest wavelength means lambda is minimum. The lambda is minimum, energy is maximum. So this means last line. This means first line. Okay. So the last line of Lyman series is X. So 1 by X equals to RH into 1 square into last line will be 1 square minus 1 by infinity square. So 1 by X equals to RH, 1 minus 0. So 1 by X equals to RH. Then they are saying longest wavelength in Balmer series. So first line that you want to find RH. But which atom it is? It is helium. So 2 square, 1 by Balmer series is 2 square by 3 square. Okay, so 1 by lambda equals to RH into 4. LCM will come as 1 by 4 minus 1 by 9. So 1 by lambda is equals to RH dot 4. LCM will come 36. 9 minus 4. Or you can write 9 into 4. 4 gets cancelled. 1 by lambda equals to RH into 5 by 9. Then so lambda equals to what? 9 by 5 RH, and RH equals to X, 1 by X. So we can have lambda equals to 9x by 5. This is option A. 19th, 20. Zoom in, down. 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Till 30, any doubt? Till 30, any doubt? Okay, so do now. Okay, 25 is doubt. 25. Which electronic level would allow the hydrogen atom to absorb a photon but not to emit a photon? The answer is 1s, because if it absorb a photon, it will not go anywhere. It will not go to higher extended state also. Okay. So the next point here is, your homework is to solve remaining question. There are 50 are there. So 30 I have discussed, 20 more are there. You solve those 20 questions. And tomorrow if you have doubts, you ask me, and tomorrow we'll start a new chapter if you do not have doubts. Okay. And meanwhile, if you have doubts, you can also ask me on WhatsApp or Telegram also. Okay. And solve that module, solve that exercises. If you do not solve exercises, you will not understand how will you solve in the exam also. So try to solve questions at home. If you get doubts, you ask me, okay? And do hard work, okay? Thank you very much.